So President Trump has a war on intelligence, both the community and actual intelligence. Now, this, of course, has kicked off more White House leaks that slam the president for his what's being described as his willful ignorance in the face of facts that do not fit his worldview. Now, recently, Time reporter John Walcott talked about that, and he had basically said to CNN's Brooke Baldwin that he had spoken with people who are high level inside the intelligence community about Donald Trump. And look, more accurately, they were speaking to him about how dangerous President Trump is. In fact, I want to show you video of that conversation, and then we'll break it down. Let's take a look.
So you say that senior intelligence briefers are breaking 2 years of silence to warn that this president is endangering American security, what they say is willful ignorance. Can you explain to me exactly what they mean by that?
Well, I think you saw a good example of that earlier in the interview with Margaret Brennan on Sunday, which is that when he's briefed on something that doesn't square with his policy views or his personal views, he simply rejects it and goes his own way. And we've heard that time and time again on Iran. Syria is a good example. I mean, Ben Wiedemann is making a point the intelligence officials make, which is that the threat of ISIS is not measured in real estate terms. It's a global threat, and they're inspiring other people. And that's not the kind of thing that the president wants to hear.
Now, of course, he's right. The president doesn't want to hear that anything that counters his narrative. Again, let's go to talking about Iran. Iran has been following the nuclear deal. So they haven't created any nuclear weapons. They're actually still in the nuclear deal with European nations. And President Trump's like, no, Iran bad. They've got nuclear weapons. We have to stop Iran. Well, no, that's not what's going on. And you really don't want a war with Iran. Believe me, if you thought Iraq was disastrous, think about a war with Iran. But anything that challenges his view of the world immediately rejects, right? And so that is a great example of the president not believing in facts. See, I understand that all political figures will want to spin a situation, right? And, look, they do politics and they put their best face forward, but at least they acknowledge facts. Trump doesn't do any of that. He doesn't know how to play politics. He literally believes what he believes and nothing else. And by the way, that he believes what he believes is actually another quote from another intelligence official, right? So anything that doesn't fit his worldview or contradicts him, well, that's fake. Obviously, he will not accept it. He completely rejects it. So there's your willful ignorance, right? Now, if that's not bad enough, here you have that coupled with deep stupidity. The stupidity that is almost comical. And Walcott has a couple of examples of that, that comical stupidity. Watch.
Well, they're a combination of things. The first one is the president's ignorance, and that goes to the point about thinking that Nepal and Bhutan, which incidentally he also mispronounced as nipple and button, are part of India, which they're not.
Wait, seriously? That's what he said?
Seriously. Second is a lack of curiosity about the world, which is different from other presidents.
Nipple and button. Wow. Okay. Look, you know what? I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm actually not. We're kind of 2 years past surprised. How many more examples can I show you before you get that Trump is literally not smart enough to be in office? I mean, forget about anything else, right? He literally does not have the mental capacity to serve as president of the United States. No intellectual curiosity, and of course the mentality of a child. Nipple and button aside, this guy has he doesn't belong in office. He is a real danger to the country. In fact, Baldwin asked about what could happen if the president didn't listen to his advisors. He said, The real underlying concern is what might happen if the nation is suddenly hit with a real national security crisis out of the blue. Now think about that. We're 2 years into the Trump presidency, and we actually have not been in a national security crisis. Oh, thank goodness for that. I mean, we have been in other crises, not national security. For example, we have Puerto Rico. And you can just look at his response to Puerto Rico for a national weather-related disaster, and you realize that, oh my God, this guy has no idea what he's doing. None. I mean, this guy's like throwing paper towels and saying, oh, we couldn't get to the Puerto Rico because it's got water, the big water, ocean water. Oh no. Oh, imagine if there is a national security crisis. Terrible. Now, Walcott says, how will the president respond? Will Trump stop and listen and think about that response first? Or again, will he simply react on instinct? Come on, man. We all know what the answer is. And look, here's the thing. Maybe the fact that we didn't have a national security crisis is not because there aren't actors against us, right? No, there are. But at this point, you don't even have to attack the United States because Trump is so stupid, he might just bring us down on its own without any other foreign interference. Oh. Nonetheless, there are some people that, like myself, who couldn't help but find this kind of amusing. Just Judy tweets, I have no idea why I'm laughing so hard at such a serious issue. I can't help it. Well, maybe it's because if we didn't laugh, we would cry. Rio DeJean says, nipple and button. I'm done. And Patricia Ellen finally says, wow, just wow. Agreed. He's an idiot, and he might just be mentally unstable. So, 25th Amendment, guys, we got to get this guy out. You got to get him out of office. He's a danger to the Republic. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.